Alright, good morning. Today we're looking at a new ship that I call the Ursa Major. It's essentially a combination of two of my previous ship builds, the Colossus and the Beluga. I've done a few unique things with this ship. This is by far the largest ship I've ever had to put together, as far as being the most complicated. But the one major thing that I've done that I've never really messed around with before is I've internalized all the weapons. That is, I've placed them within the structure of the ship, so you don't see any weapons on the outside. If you didn't know, I'm not using any mods or glitches or anything like that, but the game doesn't care where the weapons are. So you can set them, inside the ship, and they'll just fire through the hull. It doesn't matter. So I wanted to play around with that concept to see if I could make the outside of the ship completely smooth and streamlined, hide all the weapons and shields inside, and this is what I've come up with. It was challenging, to say the least, because it's such a large ship. I've actually hit the module limit on this thing, and trying to get everything, like I have all the habs in the game represented in the ship, and trying to get one ladder all the way up to the top was a total nightmare. But I did it. This is what I've come up with, and it almost came out perfect. I have one square within the ship, one by one module that I could have put in there, and I was going to put a storage closet in there, but I've hit the module limit, so there's nothing more I can put in there. It's unfortunate, but it's buried within the ship. You can't see it, so whatever. I guess I could take off the comm spike or the conduction grid and do it that way, but whatever. It's not a big deal. Anyways, like I said, this is one of my more complicated builds. You'll see when I take it apart and put it back together. It's kind of a bit of a nightmare inside. I went through, man, I don't know, like 50 different configurations on this thing, trying to get that stupid ladder, so the inside wasn't like a maze. And I finally came up with, I don't know, I used basically a simple solution. I used with a companion ways to go all the way up to the top. We're using 6 at the Stroud 6830 engines. They're the most powerful engines in the game. They only have 2 power each, so you can have 6 of them. They're supported by these Deimos. I don't even remember what they're called. Originally, I had 2 of the engines mounted on the outsides of these pontoons, but I didn't like the way that looked, so I went back to the more traditional, just 6 on the rear. But you can see it's totally smooth on the outside. There's no hard points showing, well, except for right here. There's nothing I can do about that. But there's no weapons, no shields or anything. So it's a front loader. Go inside and take you on a little tour. Deck 1 is this engineering bay, and it's a little weird because I used Stroud components, except for the outside. The bottom and the very top are Nova Galactic, and I'll tell you why I did that here in a minute once I get back outside into the shipbuilder. But I had a reason for mixing them up like that, and it's just purely aesthetic reasons. Alright, this is the infirmary. Infirmary also doubles as a science station, but we also have a science station anyways upstairs, so that's not going to matter. This is deck 1. Yeah, I shot your kid. Deck 2
Now you're not pestering
has a
me,
little
Captain
storage
Blackora.
closet right here.
Pester? You think I'm a pest?
Oh,
And then
never
we
mind.
have
What
a
did you
all-in-one
need?
hab. And then on the side here we have an armory. Excuse me, not an armory. What the hell are you doing? Yeah, he got in some trouble. We put him in the brig. So we have the brig over here.
Hey.
On this side we have a 2x2 living quarters. So just a little area for the crew to hang out. Deck 3.
Is there a way to go faster than the speed of light? And none of that grab tech cheating?
I wanted to put that, I was talking about that empty module or area back here. I could put a closet right here, a storage area behind this wall, but I ran out of modules. So there's no way to do it. I mean, there is. I guess I could figure something out. I don't know. But there's a dining hall here. And then I don't know why this door keeps changing. Sometimes the door is here, and then sometimes it was over here when I was putting this build together. I don't know what's changing. But there's a cargo deck behind the mess hall. Deck 4 is another mess hall, and this is I used a different. This is a Hope Tech one. The one downstairs is a Stroud, and I did that because this is 3 2x1 halves basically in one, and I needed a way to reduce. I needed a way to fill the spot in, but I couldn't put 3 halves here because I didn't have enough modules, you know, without hitting the module limit. So I just put the second dining hall up here, or mess hall. I keep calling it dining. I was in the Air Force, so we call it the dining hall. So the mess hall, and I don't know. It's basically the same thing. It does have this cool little area over here where we can watch TV, which is nice. Got a little barber's chair. Back here comes out into the computer core, and then behind the computer core we have the science lab that I was talking about earlier. Basically all it is this research lab, and if you didn't know, if you have the infirmary, that's odd, I didn't know there's a weapons workbench in there. That's cool. It's the infirmary also has a research lab too, so if you ever want to double them up, you can do that. Here I have the armory. You can store my weapons. And you can see this ladder just goes all the way from the down to all the way to the top here. And then the final, whoops, final deck, I believe this way. Actually, let's go this way first. So we have a I think this is a control station. Yeah, this is the control station. Gives me 4 crew members. And then this is my personal quarters, the captain's quarters back here. And then going forward, we'll get to the bridge. The bridge was probably the part that I had the hardest time with, just trying to decide how I wanted to do this. So this is a Nova bridge. It's one of the small ones. I went through a lot of different configurations trying to find something that I found that I thought was aesthetically pleasing, because the way that this nose cone is set up is a little weird. I'll show you here when I get into the shipbuilder.
We're asking everyone. Sure, have at it.
So I was going to originally, I wanted to put a Stroud, one of the long ones, bridges. I don't even remember what they're called now. But you can't stick anything under the nose of the Stroud bridge. It doesn't fit because it's got these 2 little things that stick down. And I couldn't find anything that would go under here that didn't look just dumb. So I went through about 300 different configurations. It was like Kontiki bridges, and then I didn't want to put anything up top. So what I was trying to do is, because like on my Colossus build, I have like the big eyebrow type bridge sitting on top, and I wanted this to be smooth all the way, all the way around. And so this is what I came up with. I used this little Magellan cockpit, and you can see I decided to give it a little racing stripes. Paint it red because red makes it go faster. So the red goes all the way around, it wraps around, and then back up. So big red, and then this one goes That's like on the vertical axis, and this is on the horizontal axis. It goes all the way around. I thought about trying to do the engines, but it just didn't look right. So it basically just wraps around the back of the engines all the way around the ship. So you got two racing stripes, one on the horizontal plane and one on the vertical. So anyways, I like that. I don't generally spend a lot of time painting my ships. Usually I just go for the standard military gray. But this was, like I said, a combination of my Beluga and this ship right here, and the Colossus build that I did, which I can't show you that because it's this ship. I've retooled it into this. So we have all, and like I said, one of the things I did that's a little odd is you see I have the weapons inside the ship mounted on a bunch of these spine Cs within the ship, and they just fire straight to the ship. Now I'm not using any mods or any glitches or anything. That's just something the game will let you do. And actually, playing around with it, you can put the cockpit inside the ship. You can't see anything, but you can do that. I actually took this and buried it within the middle of the ship, and it works just fine. And then you could like put something like this. Can't flip things with something on it. You know, you'd have something like that up on top, you know, and it would look like that. But you can't see anything, so unless you play in a third-person view, then it wouldn't work. And I don't do that. I play in first person, so. But as far as the weapons go, it doesn't matter. They just shoot through the hull. And but that lets me keep the ship looking really, really sleek outside. It looks like something that would be in the water. I like it. So anyways, I've got the most powerful weapons in the game that I could find. I'll go through those. All right, I'll just look at them right now, I guess. I got 4 of these PB300 alpha beams, 3 of the Obliterator 250 mega electron volt alpha beams, and 4 of the Disruptor 3340 alpha beams. And they hit hard. I've already taken this out for a spin, and there's no contest. It just blows everything away. Shields, most powerful shields in the game. I got the cargo up to 6,365. Typically, when I build these builds, you know, I'm always trying to max out as much cargo as I can squeeze in there. So like this ship right here is small. It's only 24 by 17, but it's got 8,000 cargo, and it's got pretty powerful weapons. So basically my mindset is if you want a small ship that you just want to fly around in, and you don't do anything inside the ship other than space combat and get to point A and point B, a ship like this is what you want. You know, like it's most powerful engines, most powerful weapons, most powerful shield, a shit ton of cargo. Everything is perfect on it. You know, and it's got like 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this one? 4. Yeah, it is 5. 5 halves that you can play with, and that's plenty. But if you want a ship that, well, you're not going to get a lot of space in that thing. If you want a ship that has everything inside, like you could basically live inside the ship and never come out, this is something that would fit that bill. But the mass came out to 4267. The top mass that you can get is 4,275. So I came out 8 tons under budget. Normally I like to max that out as high as I can, but like I said, I ran into that module limit. So like if I try to add one thing, you can't. You exceed the module limit, delete more. So I've made the ship as large as it can be. So 39, 40 was the max. And then 40 this way, but you can't make a ship that big. There's not enough modules. And then down here, oops, is it here? No, it's one down. You see there's a spot back here that's not, there's nothing in there. And I was going to put a second Taio storeroom right there in that spot, but I can't because I don't have any more modules. That's okay. It's just a storage closet. It doesn't gonna change anything. But like I said, I'm super happy with this. I've been really tinkering with this just nonstop for the last like week, and I'm glad that I didn't, because there were some earlier iterations I was just going to go with, and they all looked nowhere near as nice as this. So if you just keep plugging away at it, and eventually you come up with something you like. I don't know, I like it. But anyways, I will take this thing apart, and we're going to do it layer by layer. This thing is like hideously complicated inside because, like I said, I was trying to get that ladder to go all the way up to the top and not screw up the internals, and trying to figure out how to get all the guns in there. But we'll take it apart. I'll see if I can get it back together, and hopefully I won't screw it up. But I'll be right back. All right, I've got this thing disassembled. We're going to do it deck by deck, and we're going to start off at the bottom. We have a Nova Galactic Engineering Bay 3x1 and a Nova Galactic Infirmary 2x1. We'll stick them together. We have two Galleon S203 cargo holds. And they're going to go onto the back end, just like that. One, two, we have 6 of these NG-20 Nova Galactic landing gears in their wide configuration. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And remember I talked about putting the weapons inside the ship? We're going to be using Deimos Spine Cs in our 4 configuration to do that. Excuse me. And I'm going to go ahead and do this on the, as we're doing it. So, because it's hard to take the ship apart and put these things in afterwards. So, on this landing gear right here, you're going to put a spine C. You're going to put the conduction grid there, and an obliterator 250 mega electron volt alpha beam. On this gear right here, you're going to do the same thing with the Deimos Spine C. And you're going to put 2 disruptor 3340 alpha beams. On this little spot here, we're going to put the SG 1800 shield generator. We're going to have 2 Stroud mid bracers to fill in these 2 spots here. And then we're going to hook up 2 of these Taio end caps, port and starboard. That leaves a little cavity here for our shipbed 200 landing bay for Taio. And then this slim docker, they can go up or down. We want it in the down configuration. So if we flip the thing upside down, we'll just stick it right there, right behind the shipbed. So you come into the shipbed, and then your ladder goes all the way to the top of the ship, including the docker. I mean, everything is just one ladder. That's deck 1. Deck 2 is, let's see, make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah, okay. Oh. Alright, so we'll start from the back here again. So I had those Galleon S203 cargo holds with the slope out, so they kind of blend in with the, you'll see when I get it all back together. But these need to be facing inwards. You can't even hook these stupid things up yet, can you? Alright, let's do it this way. We're going to put our Stroud living quarters 2x2 like that. Leave the little spot open for, put that there. And it's going to overhang outwards. And that's what we're going to hook up our pontoons with. So that's the Stroud living quarters 2x2. And on this side it's the Stroud brig 2x2. They hang out just like that. Here we're going to do this, the Galleon S202 cargo holds, and I was talking earlier how these are going to be sloped inwards. You want to leave this facing outwards so we can attach these, what are they called? Side caps, just to make it pretty. A second S202 cargo hold, so these were 203s, these are going to be 2 202s, and make sure that the slope's facing inwards. On the inside, we're going to use a Stroud all-in-one 3x1 berth. This hides the shield in here inside of the ship nicely. A Stroud companionway in front. So we had the first Nova Galactic, or the engineering bay is deck 1, and then it comes up straight into this companionway. And then we'll hook up our tile storeroom right there. And then on either side of that, we're going to put 2 more tile end caps, port and starboard. I feel like I'm doing something wrong here. Let me see something real quick. Nope. Okay, I know why. I know why. Yeah. I'm stupid. So that goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Just like you had it before. I know why. There's gaps there. I forgot. And then the 2 side ports here. These tile end caps. And then we're going to use a Deimos belly right on the front. Okay, I forgot the gaps here are because these 2 pieces here hang down. That's the grav drive and the reactor hang down. Alright, so that's deck 2, deck 3. Oops, I forgot those pieces don't hook up yet. Start from the rear. We're going to hook up a Stroud cargo hold 2x3. And I'll go right there. Directly in front of it is going to be a Stroud mess hall 2x3. And then I'm going to get these on here. So we're going to have 2 on top of this cargo hole. Dynamo spine C's 4s back to back. And I think they have to be facing this direction because these things can actually go forward like that. But I think the guns were too far forward. Well, maybe not. They probably would go like that now that I think about it. It doesn't matter. I just kept them all the same. But this lets me put 2 guns in each square that wasn't being used. So 2 spine C's, and then on this one I have 2 Obliterator 250 mega electron alpha beams and 2 more PV 300 alpha beams on this one. And that wasn't how I had that, was it? I'm pretty sure these went right here. Let me make sure real quick. It's pretty sad when I don't remember how my own ship goes together. Yeah, okay. So that goes there. That goes there. There. And then on the corners of the mess hall, we're going to have Deimos spine C with a 1 PV300 alpha beam, 1 3340 disruptor alpha beam, and the same on this one. It's going to be a disruptor 3340 alpha beam and a PV300 alpha beam. I believe that's all the weapons that we have to deal with. And then we can set up our Apollo GV200 grav drive right there. And then a DC Fuser 403 reactor right there. In the middle, we're going to have a Stroud companionway 1x1. And then I'm going to use a nose cap B. Is that right? That's not right. What is this? Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. So that's going to go right there. This Stroud nose cap B. It sticks out just like that. Yep. And then 2 more of these tile end caps. Port, left, starboard, right. Yeah, there's 6 total. Alright. And then these things won't go on yet. They would go right here, but there's nothing to hook up to. They actually hook up to the deck above them. So we're going to do that after I hook up this deck. But these are Stroud Cap A and a Stroud Cap. Well, they're both Stroud Cap A's, but one is in the port and starboard. All right, next deck. What have we got? 4. We're gonna hook up all of these Stroud cowlings. So they can be left, right, you know, you can turn them all different directions, but we want the slopes to be down on the left. This, you know what, I'm an idiot. Cancel that, that's the top deck. This is the deck we need to be messing with right now. Alright. So starting from the back, we use 2 of these 500T HE3 fuel tanks. You can stick one there. One there. So that leaves a spot here, here, and here for Habs, like a T shape. So we have a Stroud Armory 2x1, a Stroud Workshop 2x1, and a computer core here from Stroud. And then this whole section up front is going to be this Hope Tech Mess Hall. Now I was originally going to do something different here with the like maybe some different halves or whatever, but I didn't have enough. Like I said, I ran out of modules, so I needed something that could take up this entire section with just one module. So this is what I came up with. Was the, and I didn't want to use the exact same mess hall that I had for the Stroud, so I just mixed it up and put a different mess hall from a different manufacturer in there. And then this will go there. That's a Stroud mid bracer, and then the Stroud braking engine will go up in front of that. It just pokes out, a little proboscis. And I believe, no, can't do that yet either. Alright, so now we've got, these are the Stroud nose caps. They'll go on either side. Oh, and yeah, now that, I feel like I'm doing this wrong. Oh, yeah, sorry, these are Stroud, okay. I see what I'm saying. So directly under these Stroud nose cap C's, we can put the Stroud cap A's. And these, see, these are the big thick ones. And then you have the Stroud ones that are sloped on the edges. So that'll go there. And then directly under it to cap it off, to make it nice and flush, we'll put that one there. That one there. And that'll be that. And then we have a bunch of these Damos bumpers. So they can come like this, like either direction, you know, left or right. You can make them in the middle configuration, which they're too wide. I wish they could just have one that was 1 wide. That would have saved me a lot of problems. But yeah, so we're gonna start hooking these things up. So what is there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 total. So the bumper aft, then the mid one, then a second mid one, and then a forward one. Same on the right, aft, 2 mid bumpers, and one on the front. Damos bumpers. You can pick them up at New Atlantis. Alright, deck 5. Let's start with this Nova Galactic Captain's Quarters. Can't do that. Alright, we're going to start off with the Nova Galactic all-in-one berth. 2x1 A. Now we can hook up the, because there's nowhere to put it on top. You can't set anything on these, but we can connect the hab to this one. So now we can put the Nova Galactic Captain's Quarters directly behind the all-in-one berth. And then we're going to have our Nova Galactic companionway right here. So this is where it runs all the way to the top. It comes out right here, the ladder. A Nova Galactic control station, 2x1. And we're going to use a Magellan C1X cockpit right there. Now all along the top, I'm using 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these Stroud Cowling 1LAs on the left and another 6 on the right. So you're just going to use these to finish off the roof of the ship. And then to finish off the flush, streamlined fit. What the hell? Oh, I got one extra one there. So, and then you have two little spots here, and we're just going to cap them off with these Stroud Cap A's. That's it. You got the nose cone, sticks out front. I put that belly A there, or the belly Damos 4 to kind of look like it's supporting it. Oh, I'm sorry. This needs to be pulled up one spot, like that. This Stroud nose cap A. This was that spot I was talking about earlier. There's a cavity here, a 1x1 hab, and I can't put anything there because I've run out of the modules. I've hit the limit. So you can see I've got these two things sticking out, and that's what we're going to hook our pylons here on the left and right. And all these are 3 of these Tayo mid caps. So we're going to start. Actually, you know what? Let's start with this Stroud mid bracer. It'll go right there. That way it's 3 long. It's just like this. And then we have our 3 Tayo mid caps. We're just going to put 1, 2, 3. I'm going to top it off with this Tayo braking engine port. And the Tayo cap can be forward or backwards. And we're going to have it in the backwards configuration. The engines, they can't turn around. They only go left or right, but they can't face backwards. So that's that engine, or that left side. On the right side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hook up that one Stroud mid bracer right there to make it 3 long. Then we have 3 of these Tayo mid caps. And then on the front, the Tayo braking engine starboard. And then, like I said, this one can be facing forwards or backwards. It's just the cap, not the, this is a braking engine, this is the cap. They look the same, but this has got the little engine thrusters on the front. This is just a cap. We're going to face that one backwards. So you can see that's the ship proper without the engines. We'll do those last. But, you know, if you're just looking at it, you're like, you can see the guts of the ship. And I didn't like that. So I used these, that's why I use these Tayo end caps on the front of the ship, because these things fit in perfect behind it to these Tayo side caps. You put one there and they fit in just right behind these caps, or these braking engines. Put one there. We're going to leave the bottom open because we're going to put our cargo, all these little cargo, DeGamma cargo holes there. So it's 1, 2 there, and then on the back side, you can get another 1, 2. Make sure I'm getting the colors right. Yeah. All right. So on the right side, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take 2 of these red ones. Are they all red? I guess these 2 are going to be down the bottom. Anyways, these 2 will go on the back, right behind the cap. That's 1, 2. And then okay, yeah. So there was a little spot here, and I capped them off with these white Tayo side caps. Yeah, that's right. That leaves 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5, 6 spots for the DeGamma cargo holds. They're all 1020s, except for one. One's going to be a 1010. Couldn't quite squeeze that last bit in. And they just go in just like that. If you didn't know that the Gamma cargo holds come from the Freestar Collective ports only. You can't get them. Well, shit. Let me just delete this. I want to show you. Cargo. The UC side has these sextant ballast cargo holds instead. But we're going with the Gammas. So, like I said, it's 5 1020s and a single 1010 right there. We're just going to use those to pretty up the bottom of the ship so you don't see any of the cargo or the gears. They fit in just nicely under these pylons. And you can see this two Galleon S203s slope nicely into the, because you you wouldn't want them to look. I guess you could do something like that, but you certainly wouldn't want it to look like that. So all that leaves are the motors and these bellies. So these are the SAL 6830s. You only get these from doing the Stroud quest line. All the money can buy, and you got to do the whole mission without killing anybody inside the building. Once you get out on top, there's some guards, like out on the top of Neon, and there's some guards up top. You can kill them, but once you get back into the building, you can't kill anybody. So there's 6 of these because they're only 2 power each. We're just going to stick them on just like that. And then to spiffy up the back, I used 3 of these Deimos bellies. It kind of makes it look like it's supporting the engines. It'll look just like that. This is the ship. I'm happy with the way this came out. Like I said earlier, you got a single, oh, I forgot I put the comm spike directly under this Stroud nose cap. It fits just fine there. But I had that one stupid spot, and I'll have to come back later. I don't know. I went through so many different ways to delete modules and trying to hit, because I kept hitting the module limit earlier, and I kept trying to like make it more efficient, and then I'm at a loss here now. I don't know what else to do. There are some Stroud pieces that take up 3 of these, and but it's got this big thing on the side that I don't like. It just made it look ugly. So whatever. Like I said, it's inside the ship and it doesn't matter. It's just a storage closet that I was gonna put there. So 6,000 cargo. You know, of course, the longer the ship, or the bigger the ship is, the more mass you have to use for structural pieces, and that's going to come out of your cargo. And so 63, 65 was the most I could get out of it, unbuffed. This is the ship. I call it the Ursa Major, and I'm very happy with it. We'll go inside. I'm going to take off, and we'll take it into combat and blow a few of the what are they called? Varun zealots up. See if I can get all the way to the top on a single charge. Barely.
Escape trajectory plotted.
She's a biggie. One of my, I guess, challenges when I build ships is I always keep the mobility at 100.
Apogee kick complete.
I don't.
Orbit steady.
I've seen a lot of people like build cargo ships and stuff that looks like it would take about 3 business days to turn around. That's not something I can do. So you see when I fire these guns, they're just going straight through the hull. but it's not apparent to me. They're not firing through the cockpit, so it's not obscuring my vision or anything. I made sure that all the guns were on a level below the cockpit. Anyways, as far as stats with my buffs, and I have, who do I have on board? Do I have everybody? Yeah. So I got Sam, I think, is the one that gives you the extra cargo. Do I have Omari? Yeah, I got Omari. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I feel like I'm missing someone. 4, 5, 6. I am missing someone. Oh well, I don't know who it is. Play with it later. But anyways, keep screwing this up. 11,027 cargo with the skills perk, and I think Sam buffs up the thing a little bit. 420 fuel. Now, if you don't have the perks and the fuel to, lower the fuel by 50%, then you're going to have to take some cargo out or reduce the cargo. And that little spot that I had that was extra, you're going to have to stick an extra fuel tank in there or something. But 420 is enough for me to jump from one side of the settled systems to the other in a single jump. Crew is 8, 44 reactor. I got Vasco on board. I got Omari for the shields. And yeah. You can see down here under the engine on the bottom left, it's got the little green bar at the very bottom of the engines and shields. That means they're being buffed by crew members. So I don't even remember who's doing the engines now. And the shields is definitely Omari. For some reason, the people that buff the particle weapons, it doesn't show the little green bar, but they're being buffed too. So we'll fly over to Serpentis.
I will never get tired of that.
You shall be judged. Are you prepared to face judgment?
Bam! Down goes their crab trap.
Critical damage to the enemy's grab drive.
So blowing guys up is really trivial.
We've blown out their grab drive.
Make sure that I'm on hard, or very hard. Yeah, very hard. Okay. Let's try this hostile activity area.
You have met your doom.
You took out their jump drive. Direct hit to their grab drive.
Their shields are gone. Gone! Ha!
Anytime you get a lock, if somebody gets a lock on you with missiles, just tap your afterburners for a few
Grab
seconds,
drive out.
and then hit the space bar. It just breaks the lock.
Their grab drive is crippled. They're not
Got
escaping.
4 guys I just blew away. That was easy. But like I said, flying around, killing stuff is kind of just turn your brain off and enjoy the ride because it's super easy.
out. Can't skip the system with a fried grab
Got my
drive,
shields
huh?
down to 11% on that one. It's probably because I was just going headlong into them.
Direct hit to the enemy's engines. Target's grab drive has been knocked offline.
So you see I took a little bit of damage there. Used the ship parts to repair the damage. Anyways, let me get pointed into the sun. Take a look at this thing from the outside. Oh, my shields are damaged. Let's do like this. Go to photo mode. Oh, let's turn around a little bit. It's got a long cylindrical shape to it. Generally, I see a lot of people build stuff with like giant wings that stick out and forward, and you have like a lot of negative space and stuff. I don't really ever feel like ships would really be built like that in real life, because you want to make everything as efficient as possible. Space management. Oh, I forgot you're gonna go like this to go up and down. So it's got a very flat look from the sides. The bottom, it's just the gears. Only 6 landing gears. Those Nova Galactic landing gears are putting in the work. I think they're 4 thrust for each one, so that's really powerful. Like I said, I really struggled with this cockpit because they just different ones looked funny, and so I had one configuration where that cockpit was where that thruster is, and it was like sticking out, looked like a little tongue sticking out, and I had a little Stroud cap, covering it off, and it just, I don't know, it just looked a little odd. And that's the reason why, by the way, I use these Nova Galactic control station or habs on the top, just so they matched with the cockpit. I tried different ones, and it just, I don't know, it just threw the look off, in my opinion. But if you look at it from this direction, it's got a nice look to it. I don't know. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. This is like by far the most challenging thing I've done, and like I said, this is the first time I've ever tried to internalize the weapons like I did, and I wanted this outside to just be like pretty, slick, nothing sticking out, except for this edge right here. I could have taken the. I actually did play with some configurations where I deleted the brig and this 2x1 and just had some regular 2x1 habs, and then I capped off the bottom of this layer here with these caps here. They flip around the other side too, and just it completed the cylinder on the sides. I don't know, maybe I'll do that later, but this is what I decided to go with. I wanted to have every hab in the game represented in the ship, so that's where I put the brig and the this 2x1 living quarters. All right, well, that's the ship. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I don't know, give me some ideas on what to do next time, and we'll see what we can do. Thanks.